retreat officially opened by the President himself on the 15th of June was designed to orient both newly appointed and returning ministers on government priorities, leadership principles, public service ethics, and the strategic direction of the new administration. It also provided an opportunity for cabinet members to align themselves with the new National Resistance Movement's development agenda and the government's strategic priorities for the 2026-2031 term. The inaugural cabinet session brought together the country's top political leadership, including the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Lupo, Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, the Deputy Prime Ministers, Government Chief Whip, Dr. Jen Luther Cheng, Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and other senior government officials. Also in attendance were the NRM Secretary General Richard Odwang, permanent secretaries from various government ministries, the Executive Director of the Kampala Capital City Authority, Hajat Sharifa Buzeki, and the Senior Presidential Advisor on Defense and Security Issues, Lieutenant General Proscovia Naroiso. Uganda's 83-member cabinet is tasked with spearheading the implementation of government programs and delivering on the administration's priorities during the 2026-2031 term. With less than 24 hours countdown, Ugandans seeking repatriation from South Africa have gathered at the Ugandan embassy in Pretoria to process travel documents ahead of the reported 30th June deadline targeting undocumented foreign nationals. The move also comes amid recurring anti-immigrant sentiment and fears of xenophobic attacks. Some of those at the embassy say they no longer feel safe and want to return home. However, Uganda's ambassador to South Africa, Paul Amoru, together with Ugandan community leaders led by Moses Chibombo Sentongo, have appealed for calm and urged Ugandans to remain peaceful as efforts to address their concerns continue. Ivan Juko has it in detail.
A month now since a 30th June ultimatum was issued by anti-migration activists and groups including March and members of Operation Dudula that organized demonstrations against illegal immigration, demanding undocumented foreigners to leave South Africa. Supporters of the movement argue that undocumented immigrants take jobs from South Africans, hence increasing pressure on public services such as health care, housing, and education. The movement has since gained momentum, particularly in provinces of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, with the reported 30th June ultimatum set to expire on Tuesday this week. A section of Ugandans seeking repatriation from South Africa have gathered at the Ugandan embassy in Pretoria to process travel documents for their return home.
Nagenda mu ddwaliro nasooka ku kiriniki ne bandifalinga ku hospital nava ku hospital eyaswa ne baŋŋamba ŋŋende ku Steve Biko we nagenzeeyo bangobye bugobi.
Njagala kudda Uganda kubanga nze South Africa nze nali nagikoowa dda nga njagala kudda Uganda.
Koye embeera ey'okubeera nga tukola n'abantu naye nga obusosoze bungi naddala nnyo ku bantu abagwira.
Abamu tuli bavuzi ba piki kwegamba abamu tulina obuduuka bwaffe obutiditidi byonna abantu babitulesezza.
Ugandan community leaders in South Africa led by Moses Chibombo Sentongo, the president of the Convention of Ugandans in Southern Africa, COUSA, outlined the measures being taken to support Ugandans affected by the situation.
So waliwo processes eziyitibwamu government ya South Africa ekkirizo zitambuliramu naye ng'erina obukwakulizo bwetuwadde era bwe tutandika okutambulirako okulanga abantu baba processing. Tubasaba mujje n'ebiwandiiko byammwe byonna by'olina passport yo tolimba nti yabula bweba yabula yogera mazima.
Will need emergency travel documents, and with approval of government, the High Commission will be providing a gratis emergency travel document that will not be paid for. We shall also use Cape Town, that will use Cape Town International Airport also to evacuate our nationals. Finally, it's important to know that The steps taken by the government of Uganda is a precautionary arrangement to Ugandans who have willingly come out and expressed interest in returning home to escape the situation that is pertaining here.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through a presidential directive, will charter special Uganda Airlines flights to rescue hundreds of Ugandans fleeing the violence.
Following the directive of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda to evacuate our fellow Ugandans in South Africa who are stuck there, who needs to be evacuated voluntarily to return to Uganda. My appeal to all Ugandans in South Africa, please register, go to our High Commission or the embassy in Pretoria, South Africa, and register so that you can get the assistance you need, you deserve, because this government is the government of the people.
Similar major xenophobic violence broke up in South Africa in 2008, 2015, 2019, and 2021. I'm Evacuation for UBC.
Elizabeth Nakakoni joins us for sign language interpretation. Now, in a related development, the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has called on government to urgently expedite the repatriation of Ugandans stranded in South Africa following escalating anti-foreigner violence and insecurity. The legislators say that while government has announced an evacuation plan, the process should be accelerated to save lives and restore confidence among Ugandan nationals living in the affected areas.
According to reports, at least one Ugandan has been killed and hundreds are living in fear, seeking for immediate and coordinated response from government. Reports also indicate that at least 746 Ugandans have so far registered for evacuation, although the number is expected to rise as more people seek assistance. Authorities estimate that over 50,000 Ugandans live in South Africa, with more than 20,000 believed to be staying without proper documentation, making many vulnerable during the ongoing crackdown.
Currently, 746 Ugandan nationals in South Africa have voluntarily registered and sought assistance for evacuation due to security and safety concerns.
The Forum for Democratic Change is urging the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Internal Affairs and Finance to ensure sufficient resources are provided to facilitate the timely return of all Ugandans who wish to come home.
We want to urge the Ugandan government to really evacuate Ugandans as fast as possible, because once chaos have erupted in a community, you never know who it takes.
The evacuation plan entails the registration of affected Ugandans across the various provinces, their transfer to safe assembly centers, the issuance of emergency travel documents where necessary, and coordination with relevant immigration authorities to facilitate their departure from South Africa. The government of Uganda continues to engage the government of South Africa, the Republic of South Africa, on this matter to ensure the security and safety of Ugandan nationals that still reside in South Africa.
Meanwhile, the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has today sworn in a new National Executive Committee, ushering in a fresh leadership team tasked with steering the party's affairs and implementing its strategic agenda.
I swear that I will faithfully perform my duties as deputy.
Following the suspension of the NRM by-election for the vacant 2 slots at the East African Legislative Assembly in March this year, the party Electoral Commission Chairman Dr. Tango Doi has resurrected the process with an announcement calling for expression of interest. As Robert Onyango reports, the process commenced today, the 29th of June, and will end on the 1st of July 2026.
The NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tango Doi has once again invited party members who seek to represent Uganda at the East African Legislative Assembly to tender in their interests and academic credentials.
And a member who wishes to contest for the position of NRM flag bearer or member of parliament to the East African Legislative Assembly shall deliver a written expression of interest letter and updated CV to the chairperson NRM Electoral Commission at plot 13 Shandondo Road, starting today, the 29th June, up to Wednesday 1st July.
The election seeks to fill the gap left by the election of Dennis Namara and James Kakoza to the 12th Parliament of Uganda as members of Parliament.
We are therefore calling this expression of interest, even when we had an earlier one.
The process was initiated in March this year but was paused due to legal technicalities.
I hold enough qualification.
I want East Africa to support the integration.
I've seen there is a gap, and I said, no, let me come and see how I can close this gap.
The party members who had already expressed interest and met the 2 million shilling requirement will only be required to recommit themselves to the process.
So all aspirants must express interest afresh. If you had expressed interest, the 38 of them, they must express interest afresh, but those who had paid will not pay.
According to Dr. Tango Doi, the qualification benchmark remained the same.
Must have attained education of at least A level or its equivalent. Don't come and tell us the schools you think you passed through. Just bring us the document which is verified that you went through that school.
For public servants, security officials and members of the 12th Parliament are all barred from participating in this process.
You must not be a public servant. You must not be a member of the armed forces, that's the army, the police or prison services. You must not be a member of the 12th Parliament.
These successful candidates will be forwarded to the caucus before making their way to the whole house for final selection.
The NRM Electoral Commission shall present names of the aspiring candidates to the NRM Central Executive Committee, which upon due consideration shall recommend names for election to the NRM Parliamentary Caucus.
Robert Anyanga, UBC News.
State Minister for Local Government, Justin Namere, has warned public servants against frustrating government programs, especially PDM. She says that officials who misuse public resources or block service delivery in local governments will be held accountable. She made the remarks during a memorial service for the late Gladys Aliyinza, wife to Deputy Presidential Press Secretary Alhaj Farouk Chirunda, held in Tao Mukono Municipality.
Leaders from Busoga, members of parliament, religious leaders and government officials to remember Gladys Aliyinza, who died in a road accident 2 years ago. Speaking at the service, Minister Justin Namere said her office will focus on fighting corruption in local governments and protecting programs meant to lift household incomes. Namere said officials who undermine programs such as Polish development model will not be shielded, highlighting the public resources must reach the intended beneficiary.
Uganda byebagaza government si bingi. Omugabo gw'omuntu wa wansi. The piece of the national cake for the common man. Figwe twagala. Oba badde no mu Kampala ne beevulugira omwo ne bebbira omwo naye ssente zino ezifuluma okugenda mu muntu wa wansi. Parish model, mu mazzi, mu malwaliro. Ezo zo tugenda kufaafagana n'omuntu. Tulabe nti abantu bafuna service, tukooye obukyayi mu ggwanga.
The minister also commended Alhaj Farouk Chirunda for keeping the memory of his late wife alive and described Aliyinza, Susan Namaganda and Helen Nachimuli as women whose public work left a mark on many Ugandans.
Weebala okubeera n'omutima omutuufu. Abazadde abaakuzaala basaana kirabo. Mu nsi babeere basanyufu ne mujjana. Weebala okulaga abazadde bano nti omwana waabwe wali omwagala.
NRA historical Kellen Kayongo used the memorial to call for unity in Busoga and urged elders to guide leaders on mediating disputes.
Because you are a leader, call the people of your village and tell them this and this and be straight. They follow you. Tochaguwa ntono wa UCC wadiga amubuulire ekituufu ekyalina okukola.
Special Presidential Assistant on PDM Funds Monitoring, Hajat Mariam Namayanja, also urged Busoga leaders to abandon diversion. Luka District Woman MP Annette Nabidye thanked the people of Luka for standing with the family and asked them to use their leaders well for the development of the district. Religious leaders at the service asked Ugandans to live honorably and avoid shortcuts in search of success.
Bannange twewale okozesa amalogo okulemesa abaki abagenda mu maaso.
Nalsi Bawini reporting for UBC.
Women Parliamentary Association has tasked government to consider investing more resources in the implementation of legislations that seek to address gender-based violence. Speaking during the induction conference for women members of parliament in the 12th Parliament, the chairperson Uganda Women Parliamentary Association, Sarah Opendi, urged members to push for the clearance of stalled backlog that are pro-women centered by the end of this 5 years term in Parliament. We have the details.
The leadership of Uganda Women Parliamentary Association, in partnership with civil society organizations advocating for the rights of women and girls, have led an induction meeting for women members of parliament in the 12th Parliament. The objective of the training was to show women representatives the importance of WOPA in pushing for the women agenda on the floor of Parliament. Bukanga North Constituency MP Nathan Byanyima, who represented the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oboth, appealed to women parliamentarians to be united and patriotic at all times on matters concerning women.
As we embark on the first session of the 12th Parliament, I urge the members to be alive to the existential challenges that require legislation, budgetary and representative interventions. This will guide your strategies for influencing relevant public policy and legislation.
Like the judiciary, the Association of Women Parliamentarians is faced with a backlog of bills that are gender responsive. Top on the backlog list is the Marriage Bill and Sexual Offences Bill.
Legal aid bill. These are very fundamental laws in regards to protection of a woman, empowering, and also all the other things embedded in those three laws, but we didn't. And now we expect to maybe be able, those laws to be passed by Parliament in the 12th Parliament. So that
whereas some milestones have been registered on past bills against gender-based violence, less has been registered in scaling down cases associated with sexual violence and undermining women at workplaces.
Most of these people are vulnerable, they don't have resources. Going to court requires resources in terms of transport and time, and some of the victims are children. They come from poor families, they cannot afford. That's why we had also moved the legal aid bill, which unfortunately did not find its way on the floor of the House.
The members of WOPA to work together as members of Parliament. Be united to be able to advocate for the women of this nation. Work together across political parties.
Experts also appeal to women MPs to invest in research that will inform the direction of their submissions on the floor of Parliament.
As you pursue this aspect of the responsibility, I encourage you to anchor your leadership in data and evidence. Using data to guide where attention is most urgently needed and to measure the impact of your interventions. Whether it's strengthening laws, enhancing oversight.
I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lukomwa at Parliament.
The National Drug Authority has arrested 3 suspects in an intelligence-led operation targeting the illegal smuggling of poultry vaccines in Wakiso, Kampala and Mukono districts. According to the National Drugs Authority, the operation recovered large quantities of suspected smuggled poultry vaccines and cold chain equipment from Uzima Chicken Factory and Quantum Foods Uganda.
The National Drug Authority conducted an enforcement exercise in Mukono district and closed 2 factories of alleged involvement in illegal drug-related activities.
National Drug Authority, through intelligence-led operation, has closed 2 facilities in Seta, Mukono, and Kanyanya in Kawempe, Kampala. The operation led to the recovery of 2 quantities of smuggled poultry vaccines related to cold chain equipment from Uzima Chicken Factory and Quantum Foods, Uganda.
Authority also impounded more than 10 liquid nitrogen tanks used for storing temperature-sensitive vaccines, with the seized consignments estimated to be worth 100 million shillings.
The vaccines and the impounded equipment are currently stored at our Morago National Quality Control Laboratory for assessment and cold chain storage as we generate the laboratory report for court purposes. National Drug Authority warns those involved in supply and importation of both vaccines and drugs to follow the required importation procedures, and also encourages the public to report to National Drug Authority and police any drug-related crimes.
The suspect were identified as the Respect Koza, Muriageta Antin and Koshinje Winnie. National Drug Authority warns that smuggled and improperly stored vaccines pose serious risk to animal health and public safety.
During this operation, more than 10 liquid nitrogen tanks used in storage of vaccine were recovered, together with the smuggled poultry vaccine consignment worth of.
In a later development, AIM Global Uganda has reaffirmed its commitment to transparency, ethical business practice in drug-related issues, and regulatory compliance following recent public discussion and media reports about its operations.
We remain committed to ensuring that our business operates in a transparent manner. We commit to ensure that we have consumer protection. We shall give all our distributors training, further training.
Samuel Kakande, legal advisor to the
270 land dispute cases are set to be resolved during a 2-week mediation special session organized by the judiciary in the Land Division Court. The mediation exercise, which runs from the 29th of June to 10th July, will handle cases dating as far as 2008. According to the principal judge, Lady Justice Jane Francis Abodo, the initiative is aimed at reducing the growing case backlog in the judiciary.
Land disputes continue to affect not only the country's economy, but also lives of people involved. Most of these cases involve family members, resulting in prolonged conflicts that often strain relationships and delay justice when parties rely solely on the adversarial court process. Despite efforts by the Judiciary's Land Division to expedite the hearing of land cases, the division still has a case backlog of about 7,000 cases.
So the cases are many, the judicial officers are only 9, the judges are only 9, and so everybody has a workload of approximately 600 to 700 cases each. And we are not working on each and every day, we work Monday to Friday.
Officials from the Land Division say delays in dissolving of land matters are caused by several factors, some of which are beyond their control.
Natural circumstances come up that sometimes require adjourning of cases. Sometimes we also have parties themselves that have file matters and maybe lose interest in the matter along the way. They do not come to court, a matter has to be adjourned.
To address this challenge, the judiciary has organized a 14-night-long mediation special session, an initiative the principal judge, Lady Justice Jane Francis Abodo, says will provide a faster and amicable way of resolving disputes.
Of these 7,000 cases, we are targeting at least 20%, about 270 cases to be mediated. But as you may know, we might actually either go above that. It is not about just litigation. Actually, land cases should not be litigated. because then one party is always happy and then the other party is not happy. Yet when we do mediation, there will be a win-win situation.
Lady Justice Saburi expressed optimism that the mediation session will be successful and urged the public to embrace the mediation as an effective alternative to lengthy court battles.
Because the parties will come with their own solutions, and then at least the outcomes, they will be able to actually accept them and also implement them.
According to the Deputy Registrar of the Land Division, Josephine Kabasinguzi Kayondo, the mediation session will run from 29th June to 10th July 2026.
We are going to have court-accredited mediators together with some of the judges at the division. The judges together with the mediators are about 16. Altogether, those are 16 mediators that will be handling these cases during this period of.
Kayondo says the alternative will not only reduce the court.
The Deputy Inspector General of Government, Dr. Patricia Achano Kiria, has called on newly elected leaders to uphold integrity, accountability and servant leadership as a foundation for improved service delivery. She warned that corruption continues to undermine Uganda's development, costing the country trillions of shillings every year.
Accountability is the foundation upon which public trust and confidence in government institutions are built.
The remarks were made during a 3-day induction training for the new elected leadership of Makindye Sabagaba Municipality in Wakiso District. While officiating at the training, Dr. Okeria urged leaders to become ambassadors of integrity by putting the interests of the people above personal gains.
To stick to the rules and regulations, to go by the laws, the policies and guidelines, and to always consult with one another. And I've also encouraged them to stand out and serve distinctively with hard work, with discipline, with determination and the fear of the Lord, and always speak to their conscience. Follow what their conscience tells them, because our conscience is very, very important. If we are to work with integrity, we need to have that mindset change.
She also sounded a strong warning against corruption, noting that Uganda loses nearly 9 trillion shillings annually to the vice.
To be the watchdogs, we are calling upon leaders to join the fight against corruption and to offer distinctive leadership with integrity, so that we can be able to fight the cancer of corruption together, because corruption is affecting service delivery in education, in infrastructure, in schools, in healthcare, and as leaders, if they position themselves to fight the cancer, then corruption will be completely wiped out.
Makindye Sabagaba Municipality Mayor John Bosco Galabuzi called for teamwork among political and technical leaders, saying collaboration is essential for effective governance and improved service delivery.
Work is the way to go. I am a team player. My TC is a team player. So we have to inculcate that culture into all the stakeholders. That's why we decided to make this election as a unit. We have 3 divisions, and the municipality shows that we are one. What we go through is what they go through. We are ultimately serving the same person, the resident of the Canada.
The town clerk Moses Otmong urged leaders to popularize government programs within their communities and pledged to take action against officials who frustrate government projects.
It is a new strategic direction that we want to build a municipality which is collaborative, which is people-centered, and we must work together. I want to ensure that the technical team, those who will not work with the direction of the municipality, will be identified, will be isolated and crushed.
As the new municipal leadership assumes office, they are expected to strengthen accountability, promote government programs, and improve service delivery for the people of Makindye Sabagaba Municipality. Susan Nabu, good day for UBC News.
Let's take a short break. Keep it with us.
Makere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBB 187.
tested and tried since 1995. Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mumutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono tu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
In a fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UGPass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UGPass, your identity secured. Available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UGPass is a product of NITA Uganda.
I'm called Awidi Isabella. I'm studying from Villa Maria School of Nursing. I've won a school fees with the MTN Momo. This school fees you win for a full year, which I'm very happy for it. I thank MTN Momo for helping me in paying my school fees.
We've paid all the fees for the year.
Thank you very much, because on Wednesday, the principal told me, look for my money and bring my money. I told her, me, I don't have money, and you have to wait until I get the money. But when I left our office, at 3, they called me that you have won the money from Momo. I said, how does it happen?
As long as you pay school fees using Momo, you stand a chance to win school fees for a year. Dial *165 *80# to win school fees for a year and more.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. It's UBC News Tonight. The World Bank Group has launched the Uganda Country Partnership Framework and Public Finance Review of 2026, the 2026 financial year. The financial year 2026-2035 Country Partnership Framework outlines how the bank will support Uganda's ambition of transforming into a modern, prosperous and competitive upper middle income country by the year 2040, while the Public Finance Review focuses on strengthening fiscal responsibility and improving public spending.
Uganda poised to accelerate its socio-economic transformation, including its transition into an oil-producing nation. The World Bank Group says its support will focus on a select set of strategic outcomes aligned to the 4th National Development Plan. The support will include critical policy reforms, financing and investments, flagship knowledge initiatives, and mobilizing private capital through the One World Bank Group approach to create more and better jobs.
The World Bank Group is moving towards fewer and more focused engagements and strong emphasis on results. The question is no longer how much we invest, but how effectively those investments translate into development outcomes.
According to Micheal, the World Bank Group Division Director, Translating Uganda's economic growth and natural resource endowments into more and better jobs will require addressing persistent structural challenges while advancing key reforms towards a more productive, integrated, and spatially efficient economy.
Private sector will need, you've heard from our panelists, a much more conducive, more predictable, and more certain policy environment that can help them to reduce the cost of doing business. It will require better infrastructure, more affordable and reliable electricity, and more reliable transport and digital connectivity.
The Public Finance Review and the Country Partnership Framework have been hailed as transformative and well aligned with the government's socio-economic development agenda.
The Public Finance Review provides timely analysis as Uganda enters into oil decade. It reminds us that sustainable prosperity will depend not only on oil revenues, but also on strong institutions, efficient public expenditure, enhanced domestic revenue mobilization, and continued investment in people and productive sector.
The launch also provided a platform for stakeholders to share perspectives on Uganda's economic outlook, investment climate, and priorities for accelerating private sector-led growth. Under the Country Partnership Framework, the World Bank Group aims to help create more and better paying jobs, particularly in agribusiness, manufacturing, and tourism, while expanding access to financial services for an estimated 14 million people and businesses. Maureen Babidie for UBC.
Agricultural stakeholders are urging farmers to carry out research and acquire the necessary knowledge before investing in the sector. The call was made during the 32nd National Agriculture Show, currently underway in Jinja.
Held under the theme Agri-Leap to Middle Income Tenfold Growth Strategy through Farm Innovation and Agro-Industrialization, this year's exhibition is providing a platform for farmers, agribusiness players, researchers and development partners to showcase innovations aimed at transforming Uganda's agriculture sector.
The purpose of this show, as always, is to ensure that we showcase what farmers do that can really engage and benefit from agriculture.
To train our people into farming. You're not just coming to look at animals or look at seeds, but we'll show you that if you get this seed, the spacing is this size, the holes are this type, the yield is this, the market is here. So we are going to put a lot of emphasis on training.
Development partners reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Uganda's agricultural transformation through investment in research, innovation and farmer capacity building.
So we want to show our farmer how exactly do you use this 1 million. At what point do you make an intervention? Which intervention do you make? But also at what point, for example, do you call the veterinary officer to come in? When do you know that I should call the veterinary officer and how much will it cost you? How do you pay back this money? So we take the farmer through all the different steps.
So a show like this gives us the opportunity to show the youth what is available in the space of agriculture. These are cash crops, the cashew nuts. From 3 years going forward, someone will be earning.
However, limited number of agriculture extension workers remain one of the biggest obstacles to improving productivity, as many farmers continue to lack access to technical guidance and modern farming practices.
You realize that in Uganda, in Africa, extension worker ratio is very low. It's one extension worker to about 2,500 to 3,000 farmers. So working with the PDM, what did we do? We said, let's get the commercial community-based facilitators. We skill them. We give them the instruments of trade, where each commercial-based facilitator is reaching about 200 farmers.
Thousands of Ugandans are set to spend less time and money accessing telecom services following a new partnership between Paxtel and Interswitch. We have details to this.
Those in rural and underserved areas will no longer need to travel long distances to recharge airtime or purchase internet bundles.
So from this partnership, the customers will have significant benefits, including extended points of presence in the distribution of the products. They will be able to conveniently access the products through the digital payments provided by QuickTeller at every QuickTeller point of presence. And as such, wherever QuickTeller is, Paxtel products will be available.
Otarema said the move is aimed at making digital services more affordable, convenient and accessible while supporting Uganda's growing digital economy.
This partnership between Paxtel and QuickTeller is in line with Hamilton's vision for Uganda to deepen tailored communication services to empower the citizenry to be able to devolve through use of appropriate communication systems, to be able to provide unique segments of the market with the unique requirements. This is no longer a one-size-fits-all, but solutions tailored for unique requirements of the different communities in Uganda.
Interswitch's vision is to create solutions that make payments easier, accessible and convenient to individuals and businesses. By coming into this partnership with Paxtel, we are fulfilling this vision because we are going to bring these services closer to the people that need them more, but also we are going to make the payment of such services very easy. So we'll be addressing the issue of convenience and ease in this partnership.
The partnership is expected to improve connectivity, support online learning and business transactions, and make it easier for Ugandans to stay connected with family, work and essential digital services.
So this partnership will go a long way to bring digital services closer to the people. I encourage all Ugandans to sign on to Paxtel and enjoy affordable, convenient, tailored services as we partner with them to sustainably develop ourselves and the country.
So that this is a partnership of two entities with the same purpose and ambition to create value to the customers of Paxtel, but also to the agents of Interswitch.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Minister for Trade and Cooperatives, Sanjay Tana, has called on the Indian community in Uganda to embrace the cultures of the communities where they live and invest more in the country's economy.
The State Minister for Trade and Cooperatives, Honorable Sanjay Tana, has urged members of the Indian community in Uganda to respect and appreciate the traditions and cultures of the communities they live among, describing Uganda's cultural heritage as rich and unique.
My brothers and sisters, my family members, I want to request you that this economy, this land is a land of opportunity.
Honorable Tana also commended President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for maintaining peace and stability in the country, saying the peaceful environment has continued to attract investment and create employment opportunities for Ugandans.
Make you understand that Uganda is safe for investment. बहुत लोग पूछते हैं इसके बाद क्या होगा? So हम लोग वो तैयारी कर रहे हैं, इसके बाद सब ठीक ही होगा.
The minister further encouraged Indian investors to expand their investments in Uganda, describing the country as a safe and welcoming destination for business. He particularly encouraged investment in untapped sectors such as mining and other productive industries.
Uganda has started producing its own oil. And that means that our economy is going to grow. How, as a community, are you positioning yourself in that value chain?
The Member of Parliament for Tororo Municipality, Honorable Tana, praised industrialists in Jinja for their contribution to the country's development. He also reminded the Indian community to maintain good relations with Ugandans and continue living in harmony with the communities where they operate.
I went to campaign. Many of the people didn't know me. As a matter of fact, I declared 3 days to nomination.
Attorney General Sam Mayanja has praised the NRM government for steering the country under rule of law throughout these years and upholding the freedom of worship.
In 1977, relations between Amin's government and the church deteriorated further. It is remembered that in February, the state security agents of the time known as the Public Safety Unit carried out operations in churches, accusing them of plotting to overthrow the government. However, the church denied the allegations and maintained that the weapons allegedly discovered had been planted by the PSU officers to justify their operations. In such circumstances, where government was run under directives of one individual with constant violation of laws, the Attorney General Sam Mayanja still vividly remembers those events.
That year when I went to, when I went to Idi Amin to tell them to release the Christians who had been arrested, I was very tiny. I was very tiny. Me, I had taken the letter to request for audience. And I had written, I will come with Pastor Mutebi, Pastor Rubaiza. I think there was also Rakatari. I had written them.
The Attorney General believes that the success and leadership of the NRM were answers to the prayers of Ugandans at the time when the government itself had turned against its own citizens.
We used to pray to God to give us a God-fearing leader. And we have no doubt in Yoweri Kaguta Museveni we have a God-fearing leader. We could not praise God the way we want. But Yoweri Kaguta Museveni came and said, no, people must worship the way they want. This freedom, we should not take it for granted. Constitution must be applied strictly unless amended. All Ugandans must enjoy life and liberty in their country.
Congratulations. Okubeera nti obadde minisita w'ebyettaka tubadde tukulaba ng'olwanirira ebyettaka ebimu munnange ne bibeera bizito nnyo kuba
Bantu Machabe Semambo reporting for UBC.
Government has taken a major step towards modernizing public service recruitment with an introduction of an online recruitment and appeals management information system commonly known as ORAMES.
Audit function, it was realized that district service commissions are worn out by during managing those applications. The volumes, the numbers, the number of people who are applying for jobs in the service are way too many to be handled by a single, for example, district service commission secretary, and a lot of other things, managing submissions, internal submissions, declaring position.
The Secretary of the Service Commission, we have been having a challenge of responding to appeals where you would find people are aggrieved by the decisions of the District Service Commission, most especially. They would come with hard copies of appeals. One, it would take them time to arrive here. Two, it would also take time to track them. Because they would need to make some follow-ups, ABCD. But with this new system, the appeals system will be on the online, where people who are aggrieved will be sending their appeals online. We access them at Public Service Commission online. We respond to them online, and the applicants are able to receive the responses online.
Between the staff of the commission and the applicants, in that the applications are supposed to be.
In the world of sports, just months ago, Chitez became a symbol of tragedy after the devastating landfill collapse claimed dozens of lives and left many families broken. The towering heaps of waste became a painful reminder of loss and fear and uncertainty. But amidst the scars and the disaster, a new story is unfolding in Chitezi. Young people who once saw only hopelessness are now finding purpose, friendship, and dreams through skateboarding.
The memory of Chite's landfill disaster still hangs heavily over the community. Families lost loved ones, homes were destroyed, many young people were left traumatized, uncertain about their future, and struggling to find hope amid the mountains of waste that surround their neighborhood. But in a place once defined by tragedy, a different sound now echoes through Chitezi. The rolling wheels of skateboards and the laughter of young people discovering life. Climate Skaters Kitezi, a grassroots and youthful-led initiative, is transforming lives by combining skateboarding with environmental action and community involvement. For many of the young people here, skateboarding is more than a sport. It is therapy, it is friendship, it is hope. The project provides a safe space where children and youth gather to learn skating skills, build confidence, and support one another. At the same time, they participate in waste collection activities, environmental education, and climate awareness programs aimed at improving their community.
Some of the best talents on the continent. So how to identify them? Our skate park is a community skate park, by the way. We do not charge these children to skate, so it gives them a chance to all explore. So kids come around. To be honest, we don't look for them. They come around. You know, kids will always know where something good is, so they come around, and then we give them free training, and also we give them free equipment.
Many of the participants say the initiative has helped them overcome trauma and keep away from crime, drug abuse, and other negative influence.
Skateboarding keep me in one time, because back in the days I used to be in gangs and what, but now skateboarding kept me in one place. I have many friends here. My life is in skateboarding.
I started skating in 2 years, half 2 years. What inspires me is my game park.
Instead of spending their days idle, they now have a place where they belong. The skateboards have become symbols of resilience, carrying these young people beyond the pain of the past and towards a future filled with possibility. From a community known for tragedy, a generation is rising, proving that even in the shadow of disaster, hope can still find its wheels. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBS TV.
And that brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa. With Elizabeth Nakakuni and the whole team, wish you the best of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV.
Hello viewers, my name is Julius Ochwenyo and I'm one of the authors of this country, Uganda. I come from the present-day Oyam district, which was originally part of Lao district, and